Hi, fans. I'm the PC Expert Amateur, and this is episode 50 of the airflow and pressure differential comparison of 120 millimeter fans. As always, I want to remind you that this is my anemometer or airflow meter, and it has 4 decimal places instead of the 5 that I needed to have. So even though I've calibrated it against the Noctua A12 by 25, it still has some inaccuracy in the measurements. I am not a mathematician, so I have no way of figuring out an equation to correct the results. So as the numbers get larger and larger, there's going to be an increasing discrepancy in the results. That is the bad news, aside from the fact that there's no way I can afford to get another anemometer right now. So the good news is that despite that distortion, it's consistent from one fan to the next. So I can still use the numbers for ranking the fans. Now, the other thing I always want you to remember is I use cubic meters per hour instead of cubic feet per minute because I want to push America into stop living in the stone ages of the imperial system, which was, as the word imperial suggests, created by royal people who, well, they weren't as good as the people who made the metric system. All right, now, the 5 fans that I have for you today are the Antec P12, which they didn't put any kind of special marking on the box. The Superflower Megacool. The Scythe Slipstream 120 dB. dB meaning dual ball bearing. The Corsair AF 120 Elite. And the Akasa PC cooling fan AK-174 BKT-B. So these are the ones we are going to look at today. What I'm going to do first is, as always, I'm going to put the RPM test results up on the screen. And when I do that, what I'd like you to do is look at the information and then look at pictures of the 5 fans. Consider the distance between the blades, not front and back, but side to side, the blade design, the frame design, the diameter of the hub, and so on. And see if you can figure out which will be the worst for airflow and which will be the best, and which will be the worst for pressure differential and which will be the best. And then put that down below in the comments and save it. Please don't change it. This is not a competition. You're not going to win anything. This is just an opportunity for you to learn how to evaluate fans visually. And so let's go ahead and look at that now. As you can see, the Akasa, unfortunately, they rated it at 800 to 2300 RPMs. But unfortunately, there's something wrong with this one. It only went up to 1268.9. Now, the interesting thing about it was when I tested it using the 3-pin connection, it only went up to about 800. The 1268.9 came when I used the MolXD adapter that it came with. The Antec was rated at 1400, but it came in at 1500. The Scythe was rated at 1600, came in at 1654.1. The Corsair was 1850, came in at 1880. And the Superflower was rated at 3300 and came in at 3400. So go ahead and put your guesses down below. I'm going to pause this for you. Well, you can pause it for yourself, and I'm going to pause it because I'm going to show you the airflow. And here are the results. The Akasa, predictably, since it is defective, only got up to 109.2 CMHs, and so it was definitely the worst. And then in 4th place was the Antec, closely followed by the Corsair. The Scythe was significantly better than that, and the Superflower blew them away. Whoosh! So, did you get it right? Well, let's see how you did with pressure differential. And we can see that the Akasa was, again, the worst, which shouldn't surprise anybody because it's defective. The Antec came in at 76, 13 above the Akasa. The Corsair was tied with it. The Scythe was a little bit better. And the Superflower was a lot better. It did vary. I have 3 Superflowers. The worst one was 95, and the best one was 100. So a good range. Now, just as a note, the Superflower is something that has a 3-button remote control for low, medium, high speeds. So I tested it using low voltage and high voltage for all 3 speeds. So I got a lot of numbers. I put all but the fastest numbers in the maximum. And that way I wanted to make sure to just kind of record it all, but not necessarily have all the maxes in the maximum area. I could certainly redo that if that was something that seemed reasonable for a lot of people. Let's go ahead and see how these fans rank with the other fans in the list. And here we can see it's sorted by RPM. So in the first quartile, we have the Akasa, of course. And then in the second, actually, no, wait. Just barely in the second, we have the Antec and the Scythe also. And then the third quartile, we have the Corsair, and the Super Flower is in the fourth quartile. Let me resort this on pressure differential. Things should look a little bit different this time. We'll just move it over to here. Now, in the first quartile, we don't have anything. In the second quartile, we have the Akasa, amazingly. In the third quartile, looks like nothing. And the other four are in the fourth quartile, Antec, Corsair, Scythe, and Super Flower. So now let's look at airflow. And in the first quartile, again, the Akasa, because of the damage to it. In fact, I'm going to write in here defective. And then in the second quartile, looks like nothing. Third quartile, looks like we've got all four of them again. Antec, Corsair, Scythe, and Super Flower. That's pretty good because the Scythe fan is actually kind of old. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this over so we can also see the RPMs, and I'd like you to consider all three of these specifications in conjunction with the images you've looked at of them and of any other fans, and see if you can learn anything about how to identify a fan. Whoa, what happened to my... Well, hold on a second. Something went wrong. And this is the end of the part that I have to cut out. All right, so here we can see the airflow results. The Akasa, unsurprisingly, which I marked as defective, is in the first quartile. It's too bad, but at least I've got several other Akasa fans once I find them. And in the third quartile, the Antec and Corsair. And in the fourth quartile, the Scythe and the Super Flower are the... Well, there's a huge gap between them, but they're both in the fourth quartile. Now I'm going to slide this over so we can look at RPMs. What am I saying? I'm going to slide it over. I've already slid it over, but I'll just get rid of the... no, you need to see the published rates. So I'm going to go in reverse order slowly so you can see the specifications. You can use this information to help you find better fans, or to learn about fans and how maybe you can come up with a theory about how to evaluate fans, so you can share that with us perhaps. So here we go. Go ahead and look at all the specs that I have here. And do keep in mind that for the sound, it's still preliminary. Okay. So there you have it. I hope that today's episode has been helpful for you. This coming weekend, I will be taking off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to do other things. So don't expect any videos for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.
I need to ask for your help. Things have been challenging. Whose life hasn't been challenging lately? So if you can please help me out by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and turning on notifications, that would be really, really super. Also, if you'd like to help me financially and you can't afford to, you can do a super thanks on my Glenn's Fast Reviews channel, or you can become a member there. Or if you prefer, you can go to patreon.com/GLENNMII and become a member there instead. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to Bleeping Computer for their support of my channel. If you need resources for computers, for getting rid of malware and learning about cybersecurity and stuff, Bleeping Computer, BLEEPING computer.com is a great resource. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.